Divide and conquer. It's one of the oldest tactics in the book, right? Is that what's happening to humanity here in this whole election drama? At least the citizens of the United States, because everybody's very divided. Everyone's divided by who they voted for, basically. Now, just so you know, I'm a Green Party type, so you don't have to be mad at me. And I didn't actually even get to vote anyway because I wasn't in the United States. I couldn't vote I tried to register 5 times and I couldn't get a voter registration done. And I'm here in Ecuador at Gaia Sagrada right now. But I'm very with everybody in spirit through this whole drama thing because the USA is my home and it's the country I'm from. And so I care a lot about my country and what's going on there. And what I see brewing is a lot of division, and that if that division isn't closed, if we don't unify in some way or another, and it's not going to have anything to do with either candidate, there's a different way to unify, and I'm going to talk about that. If we don't unify, humanity is defeated. And what we're fighting against, we don't even really know the names of those who we're fighting against, but there is some kind of controlling force and people serving darkness who do not have humanity's best interests in mind, in case you didn't notice. All of us are stuck in an economic slavery system that we can't get out of, really. And all of us are oppressed in many ways because we can't get all the opportunities that we want. We can't have all the education that we want. We can't have the freedom that we want. I do believe that there needs to be some rules and some parameters that we all agree to in order to keep things in order. Just like, for instance, traffic lights. We all agree to these rules so that we can keep things in order. Those kind of rules are okay. But there's some oppressions that we all want to go away. There's a freedom that we all want. There's a security that we all want. There's a sweetness to life that we all want. We all want a good world. That's what unifies us. That is what unifies us. So we have to be really careful not to be possibly falling for a wag the dog situation. If you don't know what wag the dog is, watch a movie called Wag the Dog. It's a great movie. And I just talked about this in a video before this one. But I wanted to expound on this subject a little bit more because this is a really important thing to understand here. Wag the Dog is about how they can fake certain events and fake certain shows, so to speak, to manipulate humanity into certain directions, into supporting a war, into not supporting a war, into supporting a candidate, into not supporting a candidate. There's a lot of manipulation that happens with the media. The government and the media are very tied together. And it might seem so subtle because you don't know that there's a manipulation going on. But what I'm saying is that the division that's happening in the United States right now between people who voted for Biden and people who voted for Trump, everybody thinking the other is asleep or awake, or whichever one you're on, you're the one who's awake, and whichever side is not your side is the one that's asleep. But really, we all want the same thing, which is to have a better world and to have this world not run by people who are in dark power anymore. And there's no way to win that if we're all divided. There's no way to bring in the new paradigm if we're all divided. The new paradigm that we all want, this better world, this utopian world where all of us are happy and everybody's got their needs met, that kind of world can't come if we're fighting with each other about who's right, who's wrong, and if you don't want to be on this side or that side, then you're bad, and maybe we should even get rid of you off the planet. That's not unification. It's not that one side has to cross over to the other side or vice versa. It doesn't, that's not unification. What unification is looking at what is common in all of us. And like I said before, what I'm hearing from both different sides, the ones who voted for either side, what I'm hearing is the same thing. Everybody's literally saying the same thing about each candidate. And everybody's actually literally saying the same thing about what they want out of their candidate. So that's where we're together. That's where we're the same. That's where we need to unify and not let the divide and conquer tactic work to crush humanity's dreams of bringing in a new paradigm and bringing in a utopian planet, a utopian world, a world that we're all dreaming of, where everyone is smiling and happy, which would be a nicer one, wouldn't it? That's the one I want. But it's not going to get there by all of us fighting with each other. So how do we stop this fighting? How do we stop this? Well, you voted for the other person, so you suck. And I'm right, you're wrong. Or you voted for the other person and you don't want freedom and progressiveness and this or that or fairness or justice or whatever the words are, right? So the way to come together is to let all of that go, because really the differences between each other in an election, this is an illusion, and it's also a temporary situation that is going to pass one way or another. Now, I hope that it can pass with peace. I hope that it can pass with maturity. I hope that it could pass without anyone hurting each other on a physical, mental, or emotional level. It's really important that we don't hurt each other. It's so important because we're all on the same side. We want a better world, and what we're really fighting against is not even evil. It's ignorance. What we're fighting against is ignorance. We're fighting against an oppressive force that is kind of bossing this world around that doesn't have our best interests in mind, and it's not necessarily evil, it's ignorant. It doesn't know a better way to do things. For instance, if I was a billionaire, I love asking people that question. If you were a billionaire, what would you do? Feel free to comment in the comments if you want to tell me what you would do if you're a billionaire. And also comment in the comments if you have ideas for uniting humanity, given the differences that we have that have shown up in this election in the USA, for instance. If I was a billionaire, I would want everyone else to have money too, so that I didn't have to have bodyguards walking around protecting me all the time, or worried about getting my money robbed all the time, or worried about being harmed, or people giving me dirty looks because they're mad that they're poor and I'm rich. That would be what, if I was a billionaire, that's what I would want. I want everybody to be happy. I'd want everybody to have what they need. I want everybody to have the chance to also be a billionaire. That would be a happier world. That's what these people don't understand. And I'm not talking about any specific billionaires, just so you know, but a lot of the elite who run this world are beyond billionaires. They're trillionaires, and they have more money than they could use in 400,000 lifetimes. So it's obviously out of balance for them. And it comes from a place of ignorance that they don't realize that a utopian world would work for them too. It would be a nice world for them, not just us who are kind of scraping the bottom and just trying to survive with the crumbs that fall off the table of those who are feasting at the elite table. So try to think of it more as ignorance that we're fighting as a whole. That it's not that we're having a difference of opinion with somebody who voted for the other person. We're actually having a difference of opinion with those who are in control of the world, who are serving darkness, who are listening to the demons of power and greed and control. And pray for them to have a conscience, to have a heart. And I know that sounds kind of ridiculous to even think that, but I've done this work and seen it work on the inner planes. Don't let humanity be divided and conquered this way. Humanity has the possibility to have a beautiful future. It's right there. I've seen it. I've seen it. So I have a little advantage over everybody because I know we get there. I don't know exactly how we get there, though. So I think we have to kind of ad-lib that and come up with it as we go. So here we go, ad-libbing and figuring it out. But be aware that these people who run the planet, they are very intelligent and they've tried a lot of things. They've done a lot of trial and error on guiding the masses into the thinking or the thought forms or the actions that they want. And it's really up to us to outsmart this system that has been practicing for at least 1,000 years, if not more. This system that has textbooks and guidelines and programs and all this knowledge about how to manipulate the mass consciousness. You have to be smarter than that. So when it comes to wanting to fight with somebody about who they voted for, or it comes to wanting to fight with somebody who has different views than you do, or you want to argue about how they're wrong and you're right, shh, stop, shh, stop. This is the trap. We have to remember it's all oneself living all these lives, whether they voted for the other side or not. It's all oneself living all these lives. And it's oneself that is exploring who it is and trying to find out through all these mistakes that are being made, all this ignorance that's happening, that how to do it right. And you only know how to do it right once you know how to do it wrong. Then you automatically know how to do it right. So don't let yourself be divided from your loved ones, from your family, over an illusion, over a mass consciousness manipulation trick. It may well be a wag the dog manipulation trick. And if I didn't tell you what Wag the Dog is a movie where they used media and used video and audio and everything to create a war that didn't actually even exist, so that they get all the people behind something they were trying to get people behind, and people were outraged and were all behind it then, even though it was a total manipulation. I mean, that was just one of the things in the movie. There were several ways that they manipulated the civilization. But that's what I'm talking about, is that could be what's going on right now, is a divide and conquer, make everybody fight with each other, so that they can't be unified and create the new paradigm. This is pretty serious if we want to make another world, make a better world, make a new earth. If we want that, we have to be together, no matter who you voted for. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that forth just as a thought to trigger a higher level of looking at it. Maybe one of the candidates is going to take us all to freedom and save the world. I don't know. But I do want to just enlighten you to the fact that these manipulations of humanity happen. And it's important not to fall for it. Stay together with the others. Stay in unification with the other humans, no matter what kinds of divisions try to come up and separate you. Because only together are we strong. Only unified are we strong. And we have to unify at a level that's higher than candidates or elections, higher than differences in opinions and views, a higher place, or shall we say, a deeper place. This is where we have to come together. So help your fellow 007 secret agents of love, no matter who they voted for. Help them all come together with you too.